I know you like your magic props, and I'm not gonna take it away from you. I'm not. But in this video, I want to talk to you about something very, very important. Today, I want to talk to you about the fact that you already have everything you need to put on a magic show. If we're just meeting, my name is Caroline Raven. I'm a full-time magician and YouTuber, and I try to be the place for you here on YouTube, here on my platform, everywhere, to actually talk about the business side of show business. But today I want to do something a little bit differently. Today, I want to talk to you about, let's call it mindset instead of, business advice in a way. So as you can see in front of me here, I have a bunch of props and I have some books, and these are all things that are amazing. I bought most of these things off of, either a magic shop or when I went to a magic convention and I was interested and I was intrigued and then I got it and it was great, but it ended up never fitting my show. So these are props that I love. I mean, the Monarch's really, really cool. This is a coin trick, and this is an exclusive clip by, what's his name again? Chris Funk. Amazing prop. I don't use it. It's very expensive, by the way. Also really cool, but never fitted me. This is cylinder coins, which is fun. I'm never gonna use it. A Trojan deck, I'm never gonna use it. All goes away. This I actually used for one show. Didn't fit me. All gone. Didn't fit me. All gone. Got this. Never fit me. All gone. This never fit me. All gone. And that doesn't mean that any of these props aren't amazing. What I'm trying to say to you here is that you do not need any more tricks. You don't need any more props. Because one of the most common things that people tell me that they wish that they knew before they got into magic is that you don't need all of the props that people try to push down your throats. I'm all open to get the latest trick. I'm all open to get the latest download. And obviously I'm very excited when there's a new book coming out because I run the Magician's Book Club. But when you sit down and plan and structure and try to come up with your next big idea when it comes to your show, you already have everything within you to start this process. So the number one thing I would recommend you when you are trying to figure out who you are as a performer and who you want to portray and what kind of show you want to do is to start looking inward. Because the most interesting, most unique thing that you can add to a magic show is, you guessed it, yourself. There are so many things out there, there's so many resources, so many tricks, so many everything that's gonna tell you that this is gonna be amazing for your show. We get all of the reviews and everybody's like, oh my God, raving about this new trick, but it doesn't really matter. When I created Where the Magic Happens, you can find a link for that up here. It was 2017, I decided I wanted to go on tour, 2018, and I did, and it was great. And then for 2020, pandemic hit, and I recorded a virtual version of the show. I thought what I needed was more props. I did not. So what I ended up doing was starting writing down stories. I also hired a director, but that's a different topic. I started writing down stories and ideas and music pieces that I like, tricks that I like, that I already owned, and then started putting the pieces together to create a show. And I believe that you can do the same process. If I give you a timer for 1 hour, I'm 100% sure that you can get this done too, because it doesn't have to take longer. Of course, it's gonna take longer if you want to create a show that's gonna, impact people and it's gonna be great and the script's gonna be amazing and the music choice is gonna be amazing. Different topic, but I believe you already have it in you. You are the most interesting thing that you can add to a magic show. Tell people who you are, why you care about magic, why should they care about magic. Forget about the other stuff. I was gonna push them off the table, but I'm really not because I still care about my beautiful books. This is what I really wanted to say to you today. You are the most important thing in your show. Of course it matters. If they're gonna feel wonder, they're gonna feel entertained, and all of those things. And that's add-ons that we can talk about in a different video. Who are you and why should people care about what you have to say? Try to take an hour. Take an hour, set a timer, write down all the funny stories about yourself, write about how you got into magic, the top 3 newest tricks you bought. Maybe that could be part of your show. Maybe the show is the top 5 tricks I learned as a teenager or whatever. Write down these things about yourself, and then, just then, not before, we start adding the tricks. So you don't have to buy Colored 2 by John Archer, even though I love John Archer and I love the trick, it's great, but it's never gonna fit my show. You don't need all of that stuff. If there is, of course, something that you find interesting and something that you feel like, oh my God, this would actually fit into this frame or whatever, then absolutely get it. But only then when you know. I have bought so much shit. I'm also glad I did in a way, because I learned so much what is my style and what is not. But I wish somebody like this would have told me earlier that that doesn't matter. The tricks doesn't matter. Just because they cost more doesn't mean that they're better tricks. Like when I do the big shows that I do when I'm on cruises and stuff like that, I do Crazy Man's handcuffs and the jumping rubber band. It costs me nothing to learn. I mean, I have the rubber bands. There's a link to the best rubber bands in like the description below, because I can and they're amazing. But what you should do is to think about the impact you can have on people instead with something like this. In my case, I tell the story about how I learned magic as a 3-year-old and how jumping rubber bands was my very first trick that I learned. And then we bring in the camera, we have like 1,000 people in the audience, and it just makes sense. And people love it. Didn't cost me anything. It cost me a few minutes to write down the story, and also all of the years I've practiced this craft, but the story is within you. Anyways, that is what I wanted to leave you with today. I do hope you enjoyed that little piece of advice, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.